You're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
The death penalty. Like, I know it's inhumane. I know that the death penalty does not deter crime. I know that it's not cheaper to put an inmate to death rather than house them. I know these things. In my brain, I know the death penalty is wrong. But in my heart, if somebody were to kill someone I loved, yeah, like, I want to see them fry. I want to watch them through that little window. I want to see them fry.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
This is gonna sound really left-wing in a couple of seconds, but anyway, I don't like the way we put the blame on individuals for climate change when in reality the world is on fire because of 100 corporations. It is one of the biggest capitalist scams taught to us. No, the oceans are not dying because I accidentally flushed a wet wipe. It's because of your overfishing and oil spill.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm fully vaccinated, I'm a Democrat, and I don't give a shit what people do with their bodies. I think that vaccines are very important and everybody should go out and get them, but am I trying to force somebody to get them? No. If they don't want a vaccine, they shouldn't be forced to get a vaccine. It's so annoying because I follow all of I follow CNN, MSNBC, and a lot of left-wing things because I agree with those politics. However, it gets so annoying. It gets so annoying when it's oh, this unvaccinated person's causing us so much distress. If you're vaccinated, you have nothing to worry about. What is that unvaccinated person gonna do for me? They're not gonna give me shit. I'm not gonna give them shit. So why does it matter at this point? If they didn't get their vaccine, they're probably never gonna get their vaccine.
You're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative?
This will be kind of obvious, but I think modesty is very empowering, and I think it can be a good thing for women. The only time modesty is a bad thing is when it's forced on somebody. As a child, I was forced to be modest under a Christian reason, and that made me literally not want to be modest at all through all of my teen years. And when I moved out of my parents' house, I was anything but modest. And it wasn't until I found Islam and I felt a reason to be modest. But yeah, I guess that's technically conservative. But in addition to modesty being the woman's choice, it should never be blamed on the woman if she's not modest and somebody sexualizes her.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
We should not abolish standardized testing. That does not mean that I don't think there's issues. For one, access to test prep is very unequal. My main issue with the argument that we should abolish it is that I don't see how any of the current metrics we use to assess students are any better. GPA varies greatly from school to school, not to mention the fact that in order to have a really high GPA, you have to put a lot of time into school. Quite a few of my classmates had a 4.0, and hardly any of them were among the smartest kids in my class. They just didn't do anything except study. The same goes for how many activities people were involved in. If someone had to work 20 hours a week to help put food on the table, they would be at a huge disadvantage compared to their classmates. Again, there's a lot to change about the education system, but getting rid of standardized testing right now with the state of education as it is would be an awful idea.
A Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
Abortion is murder. No, but seriously, I don't know if this is a viewpoint or not, but when I saw that they were storming the Capitol, I wasn't even mad. I was just jealous. I really want to do that. I would do that too. I want to do that. It looks really cool.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
Yeah, I got one. I kind of fuck with traditional gender roles, but not traditional gender roles of the 1950s, none of that pussy capitalist nonsense. I mean traditional gender roles of the 1150s, wherein my job is to be a mother, but in my role as mother I am also the undisputed head of the household, and also my husband is pillaging the north coast of Scotland. I want that kind of power. Is that technically a conservative viewpoint? Maybe not. Maybe not. I just want to be a big, scary Viking mama.
You're a Democrat or left-leaning in general. What is your most conservative view?
Okay, hear me out. I don't think we as Democrats should get rid of the filibuster. And I say this because I feel like if we do get rid of the filibuster, we're just setting ourselves up to have all of the progressive laws that we enacted overturned in 2 years or whenever the party shifts in the Senate. But I am a firm believer in having certain sections of the law in the Senate not be subject to the filibuster. For example, I don't think voting rights should be subject to the filibuster in the Senate. I don't think civil rights should be subjected to it. But otherwise, I don't think we should get rid of it.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative?
It would be a net benefit to society if there were more single-income families and stay-at-home parents. Yeah, if I start to explain that, it doesn't matter what gender the parent is, that there should be some sort of universal basic income, that wages simply need to be higher, then it's going to quickly become clear that this isn't actually a conservative political opinion.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
Hey, comrade. I am 110% in favor of voter ID laws. Because if the law is that you have to be an 18-year-old or older U.S. citizen, then why should you not have to prove it, right? With that said, the ID itself must be provided by the government. Because if the ID is something like a driver's license or a passport or a gun license or a student ID or something that you have to pay for, it's effectively a poll tax, which is unconstitutional according to the 24th Amendment. So let's absolutely enact this voter ID legislation, and let's provide citizens with the tools to exercise their constitutional right to vote.
If you're a Democrat or left-leaning in general, what is your most conservative view?
Well, I got one. I don't play 2A all day.
You made a fitness goal this year that you're not going to stick to. You're not going to stick to it. You said it last year, you didn't stick to it. You said it the year before, and you didn't stick to it. You feel attacked right now, don't you? Good. Prove me wrong. Make this year the year that you actually stick to it. Prove me wrong. I'm glad this pissed you off. I'm glad this upset you. Save this video, like it, whatever you got to do. But come back to this video, and let's see if you prove me wrong.